Hello, my name is Shannon Johnson, and today I'm just going to be going over the Life Skills number 2 presentation. Um, just a little refresher, Fertilife is a company that has been struggling to meet standards. They're unable to follow rules and regulations. Um, so I just want to say um, this presentation is on behalf of the Public Relations Department. I've been conducting a lot of research, and I need to bring to the attention that Fertilife needs help in order to save their brand image. So first and foremost, on behalf of my time and thorough research, I believe that the public relations firm of Fertilife will find this thorough and continuous information and research that I've been carefully doing about this newly expanded company, Fertilife. There has been a history of mistreatment and of the employees at Fertilife, and more recently, new problems have emerged in the company regarding health issues and sexual harassment. This is nothing completely new, and unfortunately, it hasn't been fixed. So now we have to readdress the problem and the new situations associated with this issue. Um, there are also new health issue regulations that need to be put in place, and in order to save the brand image of Fertilife, these situations need to be handled. So, the first issue is that lower ranked female Mexican employees have been sexually harassed by American managers in the company. It is very important to point out that the harassment and the discrimination in the workplace can single handedly, in fact, ruin the brand image from the company. So, there are discrimination laws that are put in place in order to protect all employees for mistreatment. So, more specifically, the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity and Commission highlights topics such as race, equal pay, and even gender, making sure that everybody is fairly treated and there is justice. And just simple regulations and policies. But clearly, Fertilife is not following the regulations under the EEOC, since there are many issues at Fertilife about this previously mentioned topics. Not only do the female Mexican workers try and bring this issue up to top management, but when they did, it wasn't solved and the sexual harassment only worsened. So the management at Fertilife is neglecting the ethical and moral beliefs and their normal expectations. On page 335 in the text, an author states, normative expectations are standards for behavior that are sufficiently compelling and authoritative that people feel they must either comply with them, make show of complying with them, or often offer good reasons why not. Again, there is no normative expectations and standards of behavior in this company. The managers at Fertilife are actually taking advantage of their roles and becoming very power obsessed. Female workers are feeling threatened by these advances, and it appears that they're weak because they can't stand up and say anything because, again, their jobs are very important to them. And nothing's being done about it. And the sexual harassment can only continue and not be put to a stop. So there are no normative expectations set for the managers, and this needs to be fixed as soon as possible because the expectations influence behavior and actions. Not to mention, top management is no help and decided to continue to ignore this issue. In order to fix this, I suggested legal rulings, professional codes that are heavily enforced and monitored in order to aid and fix this issue. Another author in the text here, what page is it? 415. Judy B. Rosner wrote about how women differ as managers. So it's all about enhancing the self-worth of others and leadership and staying with integrity. So she says, regarding the fact of low-level females are being harassed by American managers, I can personally suggest that maybe Fertilife can introduce female managers to allow diversity. It can be suggested that Fertilife can do this, and one of the ideas Judy gives is women employees are seen to give others credit and praise workers, because she did a study, as well as refraining from asserting their own superiority, causing inferiority to other workers. Even if female or male workers can lead by example and by this way, it can aid in putting an end to the harassment. The next situation is still like an ongoing issue. Aside from the living conditions, these are now health problems, which are caused by experimental fertilization issues or tactics in the company. Um, so the lower ranked employees have been becoming ill due to the experimental techniques. Even though the housing and feeding, again, was a previous issue, this is a new issue that is continuing to lack the health and safety regulations in the workplace. We all know about OSHA and how companies are required to follow OSHA. And under this person, such as this specific, guideline, subjects such as hazard communication and respiratory protection, they are failing to follow just OSHA and probably a number more. These legal violations have been brought to the surface. It is time to reflect on what's in the text here and beliefs of the issue and how it might be resolved. So on page 407, I'm going to go to it right now. What Jeffrey Pfeiffer discusses the courage in putting employees first, which Fertilife lacks. For one, the company is so absorbed and focused on the high performance of the company that they turned a blind eye to seeing the needs and the well-being of employees. Again, it's extremely difficult when employees are unable to work, and just feel safe. Like, there's no reason why employees should be basically harassed at this point and not comfortable in the workplace. I mean, their living conditions are already so much worse that, again, it's not, how is that sufficient? How can somebody live like that? I also want to revert to something that George G. Brankert says. He's saying that we need to have justified moral standards. This is on page 115 of the text. By that, he means that we need to have trust and morality. So he says that trust must be distinguished from the trustworthiness. Seek ethics in morality. There's what I talked about last time. There's the guarded trust and the extended trust. And again, there are no means of trust in this company. So whatever we were doing before, yes, we had solutions, but they need to be implemented. So this brings me into the conclusion. The future of Fertilife is lying in top management's hands. It's up to the managers and public relations department to fix this issue. Upon this whole case study that I've been conducting, it's unacceptable for those of another race, ethnicity, and gender to be mistreated and harassed in the workplace, and for low-level employees, or any employees for that matter, to become ill during a careless experiment conducted in the workplace. That being said, in order to finally solidify a better brand image for Fertilife managers, they should look to a strategy based on integrity. Integrity holds Fertilife to more self-standard and self-governance with guided principles, according to page 279 of the text. Even though it's about integrity and oneself, it could be suggested that those who are trusted must be constantly monitoring others and holding them accountable for their ethical decisions. Managers who are trusted and have that guarded and extended trust already should be able to guide values and create an environment that supports ethically sound behavior and instills a sense of shared accountability among employees. And these managers need to obey the law and is viewed as positive aspect of organization life rather than unwelcome constraint imposed by external authorities. This is on page 279 of the text. So that being said, Fertilife must abide by this framework and have a structure of initiatives in order to comply with such training in certain laws and how to report any misconduct to ensure that these standards are met in the workplace and everybody's on the same page. It's important to keep people on the same page, recognize how to deal with these issues, and know that nobody's better than anybody else or nobody can get away with anything. Again, immediate action and strict initiatives need to be taken immediately in order to offer Fertilife any future in this company. So again, my name is Shannon Johnson. Thank you very much for listening. Appreciate it.